So, what are you telling new players? You giving them any good advice?
My name is Jeff.
Okay, your name is Jeff, but anything useful? So clearly you're not any help, but maybe I can be. One of the best parts of RuneScape is your ability to set goals and reach them, all while having the freedom to explore one or multiple goals at the same time. In this video, I want to give you 10 goals you can work towards as a new player, starting small and getting bigger as we go. So let's get into it. This first one is for actual new players. If you're brand new, you should really try out the adventure paths to get your bearings for the game. The gatherer path will let you get a taste of fishing, woodcutting, and mining, letting you get to level 5 in each skill. By doing this, you'll get a small amount of supplies and progress even further into them. Alongside the gatherer path is the combat path. This one actually rewards you all the way up to level 20 in attack, strength, defense, range, and mage. This will give you some good starting levels and good starter gear, weapons, and runes. If you've never played before, and even if you have, this is a pretty good way to start your account out. Unless you're really into efficiently maxing, then you probably want to skip everything I just said, because you'll be getting 99 fire making before you even get to play the game. The second thing I really recommend is that you set out to accomplish some early game quests like Witch's House, Tree Gnome Village, and Waterfall. Witch's House is a great starter quest. If you look at the wiki for it, it might seem a little scary to fight a high level monster when you're just starting out, but this boss is actually entirely safe spottable, so you'll take no damage throughout the entire fight. This quest gives you over 6,000 XP and hit points, putting you at level 24 straight from 10. Tree Gnome Village is another great starter quest that you can do with very low stats. You really only need a few magic levels to kill the final boss. Completing this one gives you 11,000 attack XP, which is a crazy amount at a low level. And more importantly, it gives you access to spirit trees. These are a great mode of transport that can get you around the game. And for a low level quest, this is super useful. And the third quest I recommend is Waterfall. This quest gives you 13,000 XP in both strength and attack. In combination with the quests you already completed, the hit points levels from Witch's House will keep you safe from being one-shotted by the Moss Giant, and the additional experience will put you very close to 40 attack after completing it. This would let you use a rune scimitar without ever even equipping a bronze one. And I do want to stay with questing. If you're looking for a more long-term goal, you should slowly work your way through every single quest in the game, completing them as soon as you're able to. Doing quests at a lower level is more beneficial because 6,000 XP at level 1 goes a lot farther than 6,000 XP at level 50. You don't need to finish every single quest in one go, but really look at getting a questscape as you progress. But after you've completed a few starter quests, I really recommend you get the Ardougne Easy Diary done. This diary only has one requirement, and that is level 5 thieving, which is very easily achievable in just a few minutes. The reward for completing this is the Ardougne cloak, and this cloak is very important in the early to mid game. It gives you an unlimited amount of teleports to the monastery, which is one of the closest teleports to a fairy ring. And this teleport is also useful for getting to Ardougne before you've unlocked the teleport. Again, I want to reiterate here that long term, you really want to complete the elite tier of every achievement diary. I don't think you should go crazy focusing on this, but you should really complete diary tiers as you're able to do them. You don't have to run from easy to elite, but slowly make your way through easy, medium, hard, and then elite. Each diary will have its own unique skill and quest requirements that will only be completable as you progress your account. So just keep chipping away at these because the rewards and benefits are very useful. This next one is pretty generic, but I want you to always look at gear upgrades and what could be your next big purchase. For example, you might be running around with a power amulet right now, but you should really look at getting something as cheap as a glory until you can get a fury or better. Because for as little as 12k, this thing gives you some crazy bonuses. As well as something like making the upgrade from rune boots to dragon boots, this can feel quite noticeable. Plus, you look way cooler with these bad boys. It's likely that you'll slowly transition from rune to dragon or granite to barrows to bandos and so on. So never feel bad about spending your GP on something that can make your life easier throughout the game. And now that we've got early game upgrades done, let's start looking at mid into late game stuff, starting with Ava's Attractor. You get this backpack from completing Animal Magnetism, which requires a handful of skills in the 30s and some beginner quests completed, so it's very obtainable for most people after a short amount of time. Ava's Attractor makes ranging much nicer by automatically picking up your arrows after you shoot them. And this also works for darts out of the blowpipe, which is a lifesaver. Another cool thing about this item is that it actually evolves alongside you. If you're below 50 range, you'll start with Ava's Attractor, which has some okay stats, but at level 50 range, you'll be able to upgrade to Ava's Accumulator, offering you a better range bonus and even more effective ammo retention. But it does not end there. You can upgrade this bad boy one more time to become Ava's Assembler with the completion of Dragon Slayer 2 in 70 range, much later into your progression. This is a good item to pick up as soon as you can because trust me, you'll be using it anytime you bring a range setup anywhere. Next, I want to recommend you work towards getting a full set of Graceful for 2 reasons. The first being that Graceful is quite useful when you're doing activities that require a lot of running, like questing, clue scrolls, and even training more agility. But it's the boost to your agility level that you will be thankful for later. To make it make sense, let me give you an example. At level 1 agility, you regain 1% of run energy every 7 seconds. And at level 60, which is around the time you'll be finishing Graceful, 1% of run energy restores every 3.5 seconds. I know these seem like small numbers, but to make it even more clear, at level 1 agility, it takes 12 minutes and 30 seconds for your run energy to restore from 0 to 100. And at 60, it takes only 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I know it might not seem like much, but you'll be regaining run energy anytime that you are running, and you'll be thankful for getting this done, even if it's a bit of a tedious grind. After Graceful, another thing I think you should really work towards is getting a Slayer helmet. You would think something called a Slayer helmet would have a Slayer requirement, but it actually doesn't. You just need 10 defense to equip this bad boy, but you will need 400 Slayer points to unlock the ability to craft it. This helmet will become your go-to for all Slayer training. It offers a 16.6% melee boost to monsters on task, and although this is already incredible, you can actually imbue the helmet at Nightmare Zone, Soul Wars, or the PvP arena. Once imbued, the helmet provides a 15% boost to both ranged and magic accuracy, as well as both ranged and magic damage. This helmet is super powerful against basic monsters you kill on task, but also boss monsters you're killing while on task. Trust me on this one, if you plan on doing Slayer to any degree, you want to unlock this helmet and use it for all of your tasks. Next up, I really want you to unlock the Dragon Defender. This little guy offers you attack and strength bonus in the shield slot. To get this item, you need to be able to enter the Warriors Guild. And to do that, your attack and strength levels need to add up to at least 130. The simplest and most straightforward way to do this is to have 65 in each stat, and you might be worried that you'll be getting out of balance in your combat skills, having 65 attack, 65 strength, and a lower defense level. Well, this grind actually helps you level defense along the way. To get the Defender here, you need to kill Cyclopses to obtain each tier of Defender upgrading as you go. Training your defense here while grinding towards a Dragon Defender can help you jump up several defense levels and help you get that 60 defense you need for the Dragon Defender. This item can eventually be upgraded to the Avernic Defender much later into the game, and you'll be taking that bad boy almost everywhere you go using melee. The 9th thing on my list is Barrows Gloves. Barrows Gloves might be the most iconic upgrade you can make on an account. Recipe for Disaster is arguably one of the best ways to just progress your account in general. This is a multi-part quest that has 37 quests as prerequisites, as well as requiring 175 quest points and a handful of other skilling requirements. Just having the ability to complete this quest puts your account in a very good place. But arguably, the most important reward is Barrows Gloves. These are the best multi-style pair of gloves in the game. You can use them for melee, ranged, and magic. They have become outclassed in recent years by gloves that focus on one combat style, but still rank second on the BIS table for each combat style. And finally, to round out this list of 10 things to work towards as a new player is the Fire Cape. The Fire Cape is awesome. Back in the day, if you had this thing, you were the shit. One of the best players in the game. Times have changed and most people are now expected to at least have finished this, but if you're a new player or someone who's never completed the Fight Caves before, this is a great way to start learning PvM. The Fight Caves is a trial of 62 waves culminating in a one-on-one against Tiztok Jad, a level 702 monster that has the ability to ruin your day if you're praying incorrectly. This piece of content will teach you a lot about the game, like pathing, prayer flicking, and more. The reward for completing the Fight Caves is the Fire Cape. This bad boy is the second best overall melee cape, only behind the Infernal Cape, which you won't be going for until much later into your journey. But I personally think it is a really good idea to work towards this cape as your first major PvM achievement. And that was 10 goals to work towards in Old School Runescape. Of course, everybody's goals will be slightly different, but these are 10 things I'd really recommend you get done if you haven't already. I want to say thank you to my first ever YouTube member, D-Tech. I really appreciate the support. It's amazing. If you yourself want to become a member as well, you can click the little join button below this video. Becoming a member helps support me and lets me make videos faster than I could before. Other than that, I just want to say thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.